history. Fight Island.
A year unlike any other in modern history. As the sports world was gripped in uncertainty, a select few searched for solutions. Shadowed in secrecy, cloaked in mystique. They found a place and called it Fight Island.
China's deadly, never-seen-before coronavirus has now been found in 4 other countries, including the United States.
The virus represents an international public health emergency.
Stay at home, that is the order tonight as the coronavirus pandemic spreads.
The NBA suspends the season after a player tested positive.
Countless sporting events either postponed or canceled because of the virus.
As a new decade dawned, so did an unforeseen global pandemic. COVID-19, the coronavirus. Modern life changed in an instant. Sports suspended. Society shut down. Fear becomes the new normal. As others retreated, one man set out to find a way forward. His name? Dana White.
I'm the president of this company. I have 350 people who have families, have bills to pay. Then I have over 600 fighters, hundreds of contractors who depend on me. I didn't want to stop. Yeah, I would rather die than watch this thing tank.
He must have said it to me 100 times. He said, "Hunter, I don't give a fuck what you have to do. Sit down, figure it out. We need to figure this out. I'm not gonna lay off one fucking employee. I'm gonna get every fighter we have fights."
Before he knew how this business was gonna keep going, he had a meeting with the company and said, "Listen, guys, everything's shutting down. I promise you, nobody's pay is getting cut. Go home." I was nervous, but when he gave that speech, knowing what kind of guy he is, I knew at that point, he's gonna figure something out. I don't know what the fuck it is he's gonna figure out, but he's gonna figure it out.
It's a really weird time. It feels like instead of trying to find solutions and how to make this thing happen, everybody is too afraid to be first.
Once, the world sort of shut down, Dana said that the UFC was going to be the first organization to get back and do, live events again.
First and foremost, we had to figure out a place in the United States where we could pull off an event that the state is behind us. That was what we got in Florida.
Dana put together an execution plan to put on live events again, and I was certainly cautious and had a little bit of a concern about how we were going to pull this off. The whole world was watching while we were doing it. What was going to be the perception from sports media and the public, government officials? How was this going to play out?
We have a few international partners that are looking to speak with you, so if you're okay with that 12 to 1 p.m. window, CBS Sports, and then CNBC.
Okay. We continue to do interviews every single day during the pandemic, and every single one was negative, and probably more negative than the last one he did. It was pretty brutal.
You've been accused of corporate greed. You've been accused of betraying your responsibility to your staff, your fighters, and the public.
Major media outlets criticizing us and criticizing Dana for moving forward.
People will die. People will die if we put this event on. A lot of people felt like this thing was about money, which is complete bullshit. Let's make that really fucking clear. I got a nice house, I got the money. I could have hidden my house a lot longer than anybody else could have hidden their house. And it wasn't about money.
Dana White has been fighting his entire life. Fighting to rise above humble beginnings. Fighting to turn the UFC into the top sports organization in the world. And now, fighting for the future of his friends, family, and co-workers.
We're back. May 9th. We go next Saturday. We're back.
As we started to put on events in Florida, the one thing Dana has always been adamant about is to make sure that we're not compromising the safety of everyone involved.
Let's do a walkthrough and keep our distance.
May 9th, 2020. The UFC is the first sport back after the shutdown. The event in Jacksonville, Florida is a success. And for the UFC, it is only the beginning.
It was very clear early on that we needed an outlet for international fighters that were going to have a difficult time getting to the United States.
We needed a closed, controlled area. We needed an organization that had real testing capabilities.
So you start thinking about what makes sense. Where could you get people in and out of from all over the world? Islands.
We literally talked to probably 10, 12 different island locations. I remember Mike Tyson actually had called, and he put us in touch with the Prime Minister of Antigua.
I learned about it myself during an interview that Dana was doing with ESPN, where he talked about securing an island.
I've also secured an island. I've got an island.
Immediately it took off. The sort of mythology of Fight Island before Fight Island even existed was something I've never been part of. It became a character in and of itself.
Where is this island? What is on this island?
Everybody wanted to know where Fight Island was. Everybody thought it may be on the Caribbean. There was all sorts of rumors of where and how this was going to take place.
We don't know where it is. I don't even know if it's in America. I literally right now, as of right now, I don't know shit.
Much like the Thrilla in Manila and the Rumble in the Jungle, the actual place where it's happening becomes as big a star or bigger star than anybody else involved in the fight.
Really, there was only one place in his mind where he could do that, and it was Abu Dhabi.
I've been in business with Abu Dhabi for over a decade. Progressive, really smart people. Everything that's done here is first class. When we thought of Yas Island, we never looked back.
Yas Island is an incredible area. It's got golf courses, it's got incredible amusement parks, it's got resorts, hotels, convention space.
We got a call somewhere around April that Dana has a dream to create a Fight Island. Nowhere else in the world could have delivered such a massive event with all the operational elements coming together as we see around us than Abu Dhabi.
I didn't tell anybody anything. I kept it really, I said, I've secured an island and we're building the infrastructure out right now. And I don't want to release that it's Abu Dhabi. I don't want to show anything or say anything. We're not doing anything until I have an octagon on the beach.
When Dana said he needs an octagon on the beach, this was a commitment that Abu Dhabi wanted to take, and the word impossible was not in our dictionary. Getting the octagon mobilized to the island and then having the laborers put it all together on time was a real challenge.
When I posted that picture of the octagon being built on the beach, it was one of the top posts this year on social media for me. It went crazy.
We had to work with over 20 entities from around the Abu Dhabi ecosystem, whether it was Etihad Airways, the Abu Dhabi Airports Company, Miral, Al Dar, Department of Health, the police. I could go on and on. The main priority for us has been the health and safety of everyone involved. In order to create this COVID-free bubble, there was a specific guideline and a set of procedures that everybody had to go through in order to achieve this bubble.
The plan is put in place. Cutting-edge science, meticulous detail, unprecedented precautions, all to ensure the safety of those coming to the island.
Whether it's the staff or the athletes, no one is allowed in or out. People like me and the rest of the team, about 1,600 of us, being quarantined in our room for 2 weeks on Fight Island before we could actually get out. Every 72 hours, everyone on this island needs to be tested just to make sure that we're maintaining the integrity of this bubble. You know, 8,000 tests is a massive amount of tests to be conducted on such a small number of people. But again, the health and safety of everyone involved is our top priority.
Blocking an island with 11 kilometers square, every single part of the project is a big undertaking.
Even with the provisions in place, the journey to Fight Island is still a journey into uncharted waters.
To be remotely managing so many of these different elements was tough. It was a challenge. It hasn't been easy.
For many, Fight Island offers unforeseen opportunity.
Rodney, just go ahead. No. I can't take you with me, brother. I can't take you with me.
Paul Felder is at a crossroads. For the veteran fighter, the trip is a chance to embrace a new career path.
As a fighter currently myself, I'm in this between a rock and a hard place right now. I'm 36 years old, and the plan has always been I'm gonna ride this horse until it just dies, right, with the fighting stuff. And it's got 2 broken legs and some broken ribs right now, so that horse is slowing down a little bit. Every war I've been through, you start feeling them. Fight Island, I'll be doing color commentary. I always felt like I'd be good at it because I had an acting background, I'm comfortable in front of the camera, and I have the experience, right? I put in my time, I put in my dues for the company. I think it's a great way for me to get back into the world of TV. It was an opportunity I didn't want to turn down. I even postponed fighting myself because I want to do this.
Felder is scheduled to commentate all 4 Fight Island cards, meaning he'll be away from his family for over a month.
With the time difference, it'll be really hard to try and keep in touch and FaceTime and all. Just mostly being away for a long time and having to handle everything on your own is the hardest part.
I found this in the wood chips.
Yeah, let's not play with stuff that we find in the wood chips. Good job. Yay! You know, you say this to people that don't have kids, and I'm like, things are never going to be the same, right? You're going to look back on who you were before you had kids and be like, man, I thought I was a man then, I thought I had responsibilities then, but now, whether it's fighting or commentary, it's like, this isn't just for me, this is for her too, and also setting an example. Try to pull yourself up. All right. She'll know that the reasons I was away is because I was, you know, busting my ass and making it so that she can have whatever she wants. Give me a kiss. You gonna miss me? Give me a hug. All right. I'll see you in a month. It's only a month. All right, love yous. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Yeah, this is unique to be going away and calling this many fights back to back to back like that. A pay-per-view included on that. I didn't want to, you know, miss out on an opportunity to be a part of something that, you know, this is uncharted waters for all of us. You know what I mean?
Before Americans arrive on Fight Island, they must first converge to Las Vegas, Nevada, where the testing process begins.
We're getting started. And look who it is. On our way to Vegas, get tested, then off to Fight Island.
Every individual needs a negative test result before they're allowed to board the flight to Fight Island.
We have a great doctor who works with the UFC. His name's Dr. Davidson in Las Vegas. And he has a network of doctors that he works with. We were talking to him multiple times a day.
A lot of work has gone on in the background, hundreds of hours. It starts from having the fighters all show up in a couple of specific locations throughout the world. In those locations, all the fighters will be tested and then quarantined.
So we're going to bring you guys to the front desk, and we're just going to run a couple things by you quick before you go to your room.
Okay.
Come on over. Let me get your temp real quick.
That's it. You're good.
That's weird, man. That stays with you for a little bit. Wait, that didn't count as a cough. That didn't count.
But I need to get tested, not one, you said, right?
Well, you can do it later if you want, but when you do it, you're on 100% lockdown. You're essentially on lockdown until you get back from Abu Dhabi.
Get your head back, open your mouth. Excellent. What was up,
The test results are turned around within 24 hours. Fighter Gilbert Burns tests positive, as do members of his team.
There wasn't a situation that could have been any worse than the main event falling off. They retest him, wait 6-7 hours. I get a phone call saying, nope, it's positive. He has COVID. And so does his corner. You have to be fucking kidding me.
Hunter Campbell called from the UFC, and then he was the one that gave me the news. Say, hey, you test positive.
Burns was scheduled to compete in the main event of UFC 251, and now the title bout is in jeopardy. Burns' positive result impacts many, including teammate Jared Gordon.
This is how you wash your hands properly to disinfect.
Gilbert's one of my main training partners, and all our coaches and his brother Herbert Burns, and they all came to Vegas together. So I lost all my cornermen. So now I have Paul Felder, who I've been friends and teammates with for a long time.
Gordon enlists the help of friend Paul Felder to prepare for the upcoming fight, including cornering him on the night of the event.
He's gonna be on the booth, and then, like, I guess a fight or two before, come backstage, warm me up, corner me, and then get back on the booth.
He got it yesterday. Well, he got it yesterday like you did, but he's here. He's gone. You guys should be having your mask on while we're out this place. This guy's been all over.
Oh, I have it right over there on my shirt.
Yeah, outside.
I'll put it on now.
Yeah, Mike Brown and one of those guys.
My favorite thing ever come out of New York, at least my favorite New York fighter, is Jared Flash.
For that, Mr. Anik.
Gordon is no stranger to adversity. He's a recovering heroin addict who has survived 3 drug overdoses.
Jared, he's always going through stuff. I mean, he's constantly battling with in recovery, right? And I think it's 4.5 years or something like that, or creeping on 5 that he's been clean.
A month prior to Fight Island, Gordon was told by his fiancée he was becoming a first-time father.
Hi, baby.
What is this? Now we'll be a team.
He is a good dude. He's obviously had his trouble with addiction, but I think over the last few years, especially with really having a handle on things and being back with Christina, I really feel like he wants to show people what can be accomplished if you set your mind to it and give that shit up and get your life back in order.
But just before Gordon's arrival in Las Vegas, his fiancée Christina suffers a miscarriage.
Every morning we'd wake up and be like, oh, you know, like our sweet pea, our little baby's on the way. And then, like, it was gone.
The pain was just, like, awful. And I was curled into a ball, screaming. We're in the kitchen and like he was hugging me and we were both crying and he was trying to tell me to be positive, but like I already knew that it was over. I just can't explain it. I just knew. It was just so awful having to mourn the death of this baby that never had a chance on top of feeling it.
4 days later, she was diagnosed with COVID.
Honestly, the moment where I saw the positive test result was like, you gotta be kidding me. In like 4-week period, I had a miscarriage, COVID. Why did God think that I was strong enough for this life?
His fiance's miscarriage may have been a result of her contracting the coronavirus.
What do I do now? She was like, you gotta leave because you gotta fight and you can't get it. You gotta get out of here. You gotta go quarantine.
You know, this guy was getting ready to be a dad, and now he's got to be isolated by himself with no corner, no teammates. So it was like, just want to keep him at ease.
Oops. So the week before I left for Vegas, I got tested again on Wednesday, negative. Tested Friday, negative. It's like a drug den in here, you know? I get to Vegas, I'm negative again, great. I'm leaving tonight at 6 p.m.
They're gonna be like, Jared is negative for COVID, but I think he's back on drugs.
How you feeling? Good?
Feel good? Are you ready?
I'm freaking ready, dude.
What are you taking?
All my subs.
Oh.
I used to chew up like 50 Vicodins. I'll text you or something when I get to the airport.
I love you.
All right, I'll call you later.
Gordon is not alone in dealing with adversity. Just hours before he's set to leave for Fight Island, Felder gets unfortunate news. Coach Dean Thomas is tested positive, and the result has unforeseen ramifications.
So I just found out that I will be staying in Vegas for an additional 5 days to go through further COVID testing because I was around Dean Thomas on the flight from Philadelphia to Las Vegas and he tested positive. I tested negative, so I technically don't have it right now. But to ensure everybody else's safety as well as mine, the incubation period obviously can be 5 to 7 days. So now the plan is that we'll stay here. So it's turning into a shit show.
Well, I got my results back, came back positive. It's more embarrassing than anything. Because I gotta walk around with the scarlet letter.
I called Paul and I said, hey, you're gonna fucking hate what I have to tell you, but this is what it has to be. You have to quarantine for a few days. We're gonna test you. He told us they had their masks on, they had everything done correctly, but even so, the last thing we're gonna do is we're not gonna send somebody to Fight Island in Abu Dhabi and let one guy contaminate the whole bubble.
So Felder, who's in the corner of me and commentate, is now being held back. I was supposed to fly out with him today, but I know God got me here. That's all I need, so let's go.
Everyone traveling to Fight Island flies on chartered planes provided by Etihad Airlines.
Etihad Airlines. We're heading to Fight Island, baby.
Each passenger has tested negative prior to boarding, but wearing masks is encouraged. There is still a slight chance the virus may be incubating inside someone, and thus may have gone undetected on the initial test.
We're gonna have to do a 15-hour flight with masks on? Fuck. Or at least on the flight, we know everybody's been tested.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Is there like a pre-check line?
No, we have our own security line and stuff.
So you have to take off your shoes?
Yeah. I guess we're boarding.
Alright, I love you.
Okay, I love you. I'll text you on the plane.
Wait,
Okay, it's a 15-hour flight, just FYI.
Easy.
We got this. Okay, love you. Bye.
It's like history. UFC's making history. I don't know how Dana pulled us off, but he did. Is he on our plane? I heard he's on our plane.
Do you have passport?
Is there any way I can get a picture with you, sir?
The moment you walked onto that plane, you knew something big was happening. From the headrest that had Fight Island logos on it, to the menus you were given that had the meal specially prepared for you.
We're just in wild times right now. It's a new world right now, and it's just crazy.
Oh my gosh.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good, thank you.
You seem really excited to be going to Abu Dhabi. I'm really happy
I think this is the nicest flight I've ever been on.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome.
It's kind of exciting up here.
We're excited to have you guys too.
Thank you. This is amazing. I get used to flying like this.
Thank you so much for that.
You have bad sleep issues?
I have a hard time sleeping on plane.
I used to. I don't anymore. You like snoring?
Yeah.
Get ready. It's gonna be a fucking snoring festival in here.
Contact departure 1744.
We have 11 charters coming from 4 destinations: Nevada, London, Moscow, and Sao Paulo. The planes are managed by Etihad Airways. We have pilots and crew that are quarantined 14 days before operating these flights. So we've created a safe bubble, even with the charters and with the air transport staff, to make sure that there is no risk with any interaction from any of the delegates that are managing this project.
Well, first off, I'm a germaphobe. So, I mean, you can eat off the floors in my house. I am a clean freak. I have flown with a mask on every single flight for about 8 or 9 years. I already take this very seriously and get annoyed when people don't. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, this is about more than you. Unfortunately, Jared took his mask off. I actually asked him to keep it on when he was in his seat because Jared's girlfriend had tested positive, and he revealed to us on the flight that he was living with her until a couple of days before he had to take off.
As everyone takes flight, Paul Felder is grounded in Las Vegas. He must quarantine for 5 days and be tested twice again to see if he's cleared to travel. He'll miss UFC 251, but hopes he can still broadcast the remaining 3 cards and help corner Gordon.
Thinking I was going to be able to leave by Friday. Now I don't know what I'm going to do. Thinking about driving home, getting retested, quarantining there, and then flying back out. So I'm a little sick of being stuck in a room in Vegas. Try not to eat and get too fat in the room.
I'll be honest, I feel like I'm in The Shining. There's nobody in this empty fucking hotel. I'm coming, Fight Island.
Good evening and welcome to Abu Dhabi. The local time here is 10 minutes to midnight. We hope that you have a pleasant stay in our home, Abu Dhabi, and enjoy the UFC Fight Island event. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So has there been like a few pullouts? Because I know there was another 2 guys from Brazil.
Yeah, 2 Brazilians.
2 Brazilians and then Gilbert yesterday.
Yeah.
But
okay, so that's out?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 100% out. I know.
He worked so hard for that too.
Isn't that crazy? It's so sad.
Just gotta go with the flow.
You just kind of gotta go with it.
Yes, we did.
Once they land in Abu Dhabi, they are chaperoned by a police escort from the airport all the way into the safe zone.
Rose with the R. R-O-S-E.
And the last name is Nama Jonas.
Nama Yunus, yeah.
So you can go to bus number 3.
Okay.
Okay, bus number 3.
Everything that goes within the logistics of creating this zone is something that we don't see anywhere in the world. Our measures are really extreme, and we're trying to protect everyone from the international or the local delegates to have a free COVID-19 zone.
On the bus, on the way to the hotel, just got out of the airport, making our way.
The drivers that are actually driving these cars back and forth have been quarantined with us for the 2-week period, just for the specific purpose of picking up delegates.
Upon arrival to the Fight Island Hotel, everyone is immediately tested. They will be tested twice during a mandatory 48-hour quarantine. For the combatants, hotel rooms must serve as training rooms.
Welcome to the View Hotel. Sanitize your hands, sir. And then you change your face mask.
It's been insane. Just dodging and weaving coronavirus. Made it through. Going to get tested right now, yep.
Good evening.
Hello, good morning.
It's pretty crazy. I feel like I'm in E.T.
Perfect. Good job.
You can definitely tell me taking every precaution. That's clear. So, you know, at least everything that we need to do to get to the fight. Like all this is thrown together in, what, literally months? And you can see that no expense was spared as far as making sure that we're safe.
As the first American charter arrives, someone has stepped up as a last-minute replacement for the UFC 251 main event. Fan favorite, Jorge Masvidal.
I get a text message. Hearing Burns is out, is that true? Jorge Masvidal. I think he'll take the fight. I said, if he's serious, call me back. Masvidal's representatives call and they say, we just talked to Georgie. He said, don't fucking worry about him. He's here to, quote, save the day, is exactly the conversation that we had.
Hunter called me and said, do you want Masvidal in this fight? And I said, yeah, I do. It's the fight that the people want. People wanted to see that fight, and they got the deal done.
Salute to making money.
Because of his late booking, Masvidal arrives via private plane instead of charter. And there are issues getting him inside the safe zone.
For anyone that is coming to the safe zone, which is Fight Island Safe Zone, the process goes through many layers and many governmental entities of approval. The original list that was approved by the entity that actually allows people into the Fight Island didn't have the crew, so the actual flight crew on that list. Until we get their names into that approval, they cannot technically come into the W Hotel, into this entire Fight Island safe zone.
They have to send it officially that this is part of Masvidal's crew. Then we can action if it goes.
Masvidal's team.
You have to pull some strings. The tiny bumps in the road, but no drama, hopefully. Thank you. Done. Approved. We're all good.
Done, guys. Guys, done. Let's celebrate. How are you?
Good, good. I like the outfit.
Thank you. Long flight. Wanted to be comfortable.
Exactly.
Finally here. I went from Miami to Vegas, Vegas to Maine, Maine to Italy, Italy to Dubai. One of the many tests that I've already taken, just another one that I got to pass.
Thank you so much.
Sorry. I think I got to be 48 hours in quarantine till the results come back. A little different, but I've been here, done it before.
So now it's 48 hours of quarantine. Should be exciting. Been in jail and stuff before, so it's not that bad, you know. Coming in. Chuck. Don't be scared. It made me change my mask. I feel like the mask I had was. But I had an N95.
Yeah, threw away your N95.
If I even lock the door.
Not a bad place to be quarantined. There's like an espresso machine and I've been drinking tea, but check this out.
During the quarantine, there is a positive result. And it threatens to disrupt the entire UFC 251 broadcast.
About 10 hours after I arrived, my boss, Craig Borsari, calls my room and said that I had tested positive for COVID-19. There was a lot of emotion. My wife was a wreck because you don't know when and where or how you might have contracted COVID-19. And it stood to reason that I was going to undergo a medical mandatory quarantine for 14 days and potentially not see my kids for 2 or 3 months until I could turn around a negative test and get healthy. It was fucking insane.
I got a text from my boss, Zach. Are you up? I need to speak to you ASAP, and that's never good. Anik had got a positive test back for COVID, which is obviously awful news on so many levels. If John is indeed positive for COVID right now, I'm the only other guy that does the play-by-play. I'm the boots on the ground right now. So, on one of the biggest events in UFC history, I don't have 2 weeks to prepare for this. I have a couple of days.
There he is.
John, how are you feeling?
I don't know, man. I feel fine, you know. I told Craig I've never felt better, which was a lie, but...
It's just so fucking weird getting woken up in the middle of the night by these people, you know, just shoved something down your throat. But yeah, we're 1 for 2 right now. I mean, this is just fucked, man. This whole thing.
Yeah, Craig called me, obviously, with John's stuff. That was fun. And then we had to do a couple backup calls just in case this really shit hit the fan and Bisping tested positive too. And then, God forbid, I tested positive. We had to do another call where how I could produce the show from right here in my room.
There's been a lot of pivoting and a lot of shuffling in terms of responsibilities. Our producer, Zach Candido, sat next to John on the plane, so then he's kind of had to formulate, can I use iPads to produce the show from my hotel room if I'm quarantined here? So they had to test technology. We've had to talk about bringing in people to Vegas to call the fight remotely. I mean, it's a lot. And I feel so bad for Jon Anik because he's had to prepare as if he's working, knowing full and well there's a large chance he might not work.
As of right now, it's the original plan with me and Jon Anik for Saturday. That's the hope. He's got to test negative 2 more times.
Jon Anik is not the only positive test. A fighter has tested positive on the island, with potentially dire consequences.
Day 2 of quarantine. First result came back positive. What the fuck?
We're in quarantine, they're like, fucking Jared Gordon tested positive. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. How the fuck did he slip through the screening process?
Obviously, we've got an incredibly safe space here, and you have one person come here that's positive, and it could all go to hell. The whole thing could be completely shut down. This is be-all, end-all.
On the flight into Fight Island, White was in direct contact with Gordon.
Mick Maynard comes up and wakes me up when I'm sleeping on the plane and says, you know, one of the people that worked on the plane, that he wants to take a picture with you guys. So I get up from my seat and I walk up, and it's Matt Serra, Michael Bisping, and Jared Gordon. The interaction is 20, 25 minutes.
Me and Dana are arm in arm, the pilot, the flight attendant. The next morning, I get the positive result, so I'm like, holy shit.
The UFC president's possible exposure to the coronavirus, all media events are postponed.
Vicky's just said to me, we're no longer taking the athletes to the beach at all today. Photo op is cancelled. Looks like there's no interview, no face-offs. So the beach side of it is just gone.
Whirlwind of emotions, to say the least, after everything that's gone on this last 2 weeks.
Gordon will test again, as will Anik, Felder, and White. All that anyone can do now is wait.
We haven't even got the first fucking fight on Fight Island, and if I test positive for COVID-19, can you imagine? It's a fucking disaster.
Here we are, Fight Island.
God forbid that Anik fails tonight, it completely will change the way that we will do this broadcast.
Shit hit the fan.
I'm going full shield.
The shit just kept coming.
That guy should be fired and never work again.
This is gonna get interesting. Oh, fuck.
There's no other thing on earth going on like this.
I'm sorry. Very rarely do things go to plan. And you just have to adapt and overcome.
I'm not even sure I want you to put that on the fucking show.